My greetings to all. At the outset, I express my deep appreciation and gratitude to the organizers of this International Waves 2020 conference, particularly to Professor Shashi Tiwari and Dr. Aparna Dheer Khandelwal for their help and cooperation. The title of my presentation is On Understanding Human Interactions and Relations Within the Framework of Vedic Wisdom, done in collaboration with my esteemed friend, Professor R.S. Kaushal, who is well known for his numerous seminal contributions in the field of Vedic science. Okay, now I talk about the relations and interactions among human beings. Uh, the word interaction, which is also synonym of the word force, means some resultant effect in intangible form that appears when two or more objects, living or non-living, are expressed in are present in close proximity and they coexist. The inanimate objects, these interactions in ideal sense are mediated through space-time structure in nature at different space-time scales. For animate objects, this probably is not the case, and they are mediated by space-time and consciousness. In fact, it is the presence of consciousness that makes the studies of interacting animate objects difficult, yet very interesting and perhaps more realistic. Note also that the four fundamental interactions identified in physics are gravitational, weak, electromagnetic, and strong in their order of increasing strength. I don't want to go into the details of this, but all these interactions are action at a distance type, and but in the case of consciousness, these also involve action at a time as well as action at a time distance. The latter features work mainly for animate objects. Further, there is a huge difference in the strengths that allows us to study a particular system in physics in complete isolation with respect to particular interaction because of their different scales and ranges and interactions. For animate objects, however, this is not quite the case. Most importantly, the plurality and all pervading or all covering character of consciousness comes in the way. Uh, Presence of additional AAT and AADT type forces between living objects, particularly between human beings, makes the human interactions increasingly complicated. This was amply discussed and explained by Kaushal in his excellent book in 2011. No doubt the conscience studies interactions among human beings are of infinite range and of varying strength and physical space-time, but they have the property of converging or diverging in general and of all pervading in the spiritual space of consciousness itself. While in the lower strata, consciousness is capable of creating physical space-time, but in higher strata of spiritual zone, it goes beyond the physical space and then it does wonders. Attaining the art of living in the higher strata of spiritual zone always and everywhere is not an easy task for anybody, depending upon whether a person is body conscious, mind conscious, or soul conscious. His interaction with the world or with other beings changes accordingly. In the background of an interaction, the energy exchange occurs in discretized, that means the quantum form. They are the matter or field particles in physics, whereas in psychosciences, they could be constituents of the interacting objects or tanmatras as they are called. Quality of exchanged energy also defines the characteristic of the interacting objects towards their identification. All known physical forces are still gross and not subtle, as, as the subtlest possible cosmic consciousness field of cosmic essence of Vedic sciences. In case of two interacting animate objects, It is the consciousness that offers the background for conscious interactions of inner, that means mind, intellect, and ego, and outer, that means biological body and senses of knowledge and action, EOS, essences of life. Mathematically speaking, both interactions and relations among human beings are binary objects. That means they have to close. They must follow the closure property. That means if A and B belong to certain set, then A plus B or A dot B, that means A multiplied by B, must also belong to the same set. The interaction is composite, subtle, and hierarchical, appears natural, whereas the relation is gross and unique, and which is essentially realized. In general, while both refer to coexistence of objects, the relations also refer to existence of an external observer. For example, once the husband-wife relation between two persons of opposite sex is established, dozens of other relations automatically follow in the two families in the Indian context, oftentimes as a reality and sometimes as an extrapolation. The nomenclature, however, changes in different cultures. Psychophysics and the Potomac model. As stated earlier, Fachner in the year 1860 introduced the subject of psychophysics as an exact science of functional relations or between physical and psychic worlds. The psychophysics became a branch of psychology that deals with relations between physical stimuli and sensory response. In the Western way of thinking, the sensory world is well understood in terms of physics. For example, the sense eye, which corresponds to optics, the sense ear to sound, and sense skin to heat through touch, etc. Whereas psychic and mental world is not explored in that philosophy to the same extent and depth. As a result, the development of psychophysics has not kept pace with other philosophies of the mental world or of mental processes, as also with the progress made over the years in physical theories and brain sciences. However, neuroscience has already started investigating the processes of learning, feeling, and thinking in terms of neuron dynamics. The Indian Vedanta philosophy, on the other hand, does offer an elegant framework to study and analyze the entire gamut of human experiences in the finest possible manner in terms of the so-called essences of life, that is EOS. Importantly, the role of faculties of understanding, that means FOUs, faculties of understanding, of an individual in the perception process needs to be understood prior to relying on any conclusion drawn from the observations of the stimulant. In what follows, we discuss briefly a well-studied framework of Vedic science for this purpose. In the case of Vedic wisdom, the essences of life, that means EOLs, can be arranged through the introduction of the biological body, consisting of inner and outer organs endowed with 10 senses of knowledge and action. 5 senses of knowledge or of perception are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, respectively sensitive to the light, sound, smell, taste, and touch. And 5 senses of action are hands, feet, speech, anus, and copulatory organ. They constitute the outer EOLs. The other set of inner EOLs consists of mind, intellect, and ego, that means the self-sense, defining the faculties of emotion, decision, and memory inside the human being. Notably, they all are like inanimate objects, but become functional only in the presence of another non-physical element called consciousness. This is a remarkable observation. Consciousness originates from what is termed as soul, the innermost existence present in a human being. A human being, B, little b, also called a jiva or life principle, is a composite entity of all these inner and outer EOLs who, while having a strong base in SO, that means soul, does work consistently in the field of worldly objects as well. We use this entire gamut of observations to explain these things in terms of the atomic model. The atomic model is inspired entirely by the physics model of the atom, first enunciated by Bohr. So exactly, the P here actually signifies philosophy, philosophical atomic model. The arrangement of these EOLs in a human being is best understood in terms of this model of the human being, which was first proposed by my colleague and friend, Dr. Kaushal, in 1994. The nucleus is occupied by what is called the worldly objects. That lies at the center of the discrete energy states, whereas the biological body, actions, mind, intellect, ego are placed around it in accordance with their increasing fineness and the strength of meditation. Sorry. It goes like worldly objects and then biological body and then the action, then mind, intellect, ego, and the soul in that particular order. Much beyond the state of ego, it is all continuum, just as it happens in quantum mechanics. This continuum is the continuum of the soul and is also in tune with the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Note that this gradation of various states in which the electron-like object, that is little b, can stay and accordingly perform upward and downward transitions. This clearly means that we are trying to identify the electron in the physics domain with the being, jiva, in this atomic model. The placing of various levels is done in the limit on the basis of the scale of meditation. And this work was done by Professor Kaushal in 2019, and not with respect to the physical spacetime. Further, while the upward transitions of B are rare, the downward transitions are natural and more frequent. Note that such an arrangement of EOLs in a human body that includes the role of the soul is subject to finest possible cosmic consciousness field of the universe. Then all these EOLs can be grouped together in the form of gross or micro or causal body structures. In this way, a perfect human being, B, is a union of all these three. That means it contains all the essences of life. Further, note that the absence of any one or more EOLs in the being constitute the class of physically or mentally challenged persons or non-human beings. Such grouping of EOLs has been helpful in explaining a variety of aspects of human actions, human and non-human interactions, at least in the lowest order. But all this will depend on the faculties of understanding of a particular person. In analogy with the version of Panchkaran rule of Vedic sciences, this can be easily corresponded with earth, water, air, fire, and ether. And then, of course, we have inner EOLs, that is mind, intellect, ego, and a Dvikaran rule for the outer EOLs, that means the biological body and the actions, as proposed again by Professor Kaushal. These rules define the dressing of an object with consciousness in different orders through some symbolic recurrence relations. I don't want to go into the mathematical details, but they are extremely helpful in finding out the different ways in which these attributes can be assimilated. Okay. Then the origin of sub-energy states in the atomic model. In quantum mechanics, let us recall that the discrete values of orbital quantum number gives rise to sub-energy levels in the atom, because all these orbitals are completely discretized and they are quantized in terms of the Bohr-Sommerfeld structure. Here, one leads to this leads to many, infinitely many, in fact, discrete sublevels at each level of mind, intellect, and ego, and are unequally spaced. So there is a picture that I'm sorry I cannot show, but you can just see in the original paper that worldly objects sit at the place where nucleus would sit in the physical model, and then comes the biological body, and then followed by the actions, knowledge and actions, then mind, intellect, ego, and lastly the soul. That is the ultimate. So actually, these psychochemical processes that take place between two human beings or two animate objects or inanimate objects are conveniently expressed in terms of certain certain reactions in terms of, let us say, constituents A, B going to C and D, and possibly with the emission of certain energies. These can be easily analyzed in terms of what is known as the Feynman diagrams. Feynman diagrams were invented sometime around 1949 by Richard Feynman, which have been extremely helpful in understanding various matrix elements in terms of in the field of particle physics. So that can be used even here, because the exchanged quantum here is nothing but a photon in there as or some other field quanta in terms of understanding the interactions in the physics world. Now, interaction between human beings can explain, for example, if we have a single person, then he has to realize these things because he's placed in the field, all pervading field of consciousness. However, if there are two persons or more than two persons, then the environment changes and the individuals have shared feelings and realizations with the other persons with the same worldly object. In sharing person in the if the persons are sharing these with each other, then same consequences will follow. Otherwise, the interactions can start at any subtle level, and same depends on the development of the faculties of understanding of the sharing persons. Although the interactions initiated at the most fundamental level through EOS, bare case, the presence of the worldly objects in the form of environment just dresses them up. So this dressing goes on with different levels of mind, intellect, and ego. This enables the interaction to become more effective, which leads to success of the outward action. With a view to classifying and quantifying these interactions, we have made liberal use of the atomic model. I conclude here and thank the organizers once again. Thank you.